Konosuke Matsushita, the creator of Panasonic, is an interesting figure because few people are familiar with him due to the lack of media attention he received in comparison to other notable businessmen of the era. Despite having health issues, not having had a formal education, and losing his parents and siblings at a young age, Matsushita overcame these obstacles and found great success in business. This is the most uplifting and motivating tale for you if you have ever given up hope and believe you are incapable of accomplishing anything. Konosuke Matsushita was born on 27th of November 1894 in Wakayama Prefecture. His father was a wealthy landowner in a rural community of Wasa, which is now a part of Wakayama, but the family fell on hard times as a result of his father's poor financial choices, mostly related to rice speculation. The family's entire money was vanished by 1899 and everything of value had been sold off. This forced the family to relocate to a small, unhygienic 3-bedroom apartment in the city. Matsushita's health rapidly deteriorated within a few years, and 3 of his older siblings passed away from contagious diseases since there was never enough food, clothing, or medical attention. Because of the way things were, Matsushita had to discontinue his formal education when he was 9, which left him uneducated and illiterate. Matsushita began working in a tiny shop at that young age in order to gather expertise. Cleaning the store he worked in was the first thing he did in the morning, and later he was responsible for the employer's kids. He continued living this way for a few years while earning 1 5-cent coin per day, which is considered to be quite precious and valuable. When the store where he worked closed, he had to hunt down for a new job, and he soon found work at a bicycle shop, where he was given excellent treatment by his employers. After a while, Konosuke quit his job in search of one that would allow him to work during the evenings so he could finish his schooling. This was when he eventually got the job at Osaka Electric designing lamp parts. While going through this, Matsushita was still a teenager and had lost both of his parents and all of his siblings, with the exception of one older sister, over the course of a decade due to tuberculosis. One can only imagine the mental and physical anguish he endured in the face of these practically yearly losses in the family. At his new job at Osaka Electric, Matsushita quickly advanced through the ranks and eventually held the highly regarded position of inspector. This was good for him, but his objectives changed after inventing a new form of light socket that was far superior to what was on the market at the time. The failure of the invention to impress his employer fueled his determination to succeed even more, so he decided to leave this job and start manufacturing the new item by himself without any prior business expertise or actual funding. In 1918, when he was just 23 years old, Matsushita established the Matsushita Electric Industrial Company and started producing light bulbs. It would seem the business would collapse before it even got off the ground, but with the help of his wife, his brother-in-law, and a number of assistants, he established his business in the basement of his building and started producing various samples of his product. He tried to sell his samples to different distributors, but he was unsuccessful because he had only one product to offer. After a while, his assistants quit, and the only people remaining working for Matsushita were his wife and his brother-in-law, Toshio Rui, who turned out to be a skilled salesman and manager in his own right. Eventually, Matsushita would have gone bankrupt, but a surprise order for 1,000 insulator plates for electric fans miraculously prevented that. In the 1920s, short-lived candles and oil lamps were used as bicycle lights. Because of his acute eye for spotting markets with non-serviceable items, Matsushita quickly recognized that creating effective bicycle lights would be beneficial for the company. As a result, he created a dry cell battery for bicycle lamps in 1923 that had a 30-hour lifespan, which is 10 times more than previous batteries. This was the turning point for Matsushita's company. By the year's end, the business was selling 5,000 batteries per month. By the end of 1929, it was also selling batteries, irons, and other goods in addition to 150,000 bicycle lamps per month. At this point, the company had 50 employees, a new factory, and was launching new products every month that were significantly superior to those of its rival companies. The goal of Matsushita's business plan was to introduce items with a 30% price reduction and a 30% improvement in quality. He even gave out new products early in the firm so that he could sell a lot more as time went on. When Japan experienced the Great Depression in 1929, Matsushita defied expectations. He didn't fire or underpay any employees. Instead, he paid them their full salary in exchange for a half day of labor in the factory and the rest of the day spent promoting Matsushita's products to passers-by. The plan was successful and the employees became extremely persistent salespeople. This made sales increase again to normal levels in just less than 6 months. With considerations for its different industries, the company was incorporated as Matsushita Electric Industrial Co. Limited in 1935. Following the war, the company produced appliances such as washing machines, rice cookers, air conditioners, and monochrome televisions, for which it was best known. Matsushita increased the scope of its consumer product divisions in the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s and started producing transistor radios, televisions, stereo, tape recorders, microwave ovens, and videotape recorders. The first black and white television made by the company was created in 1952. The first color television made in Japan was created by the company in 1960, and in 1974, it bought Motorola's television business in the US and Canada. Matsushita had 500 businesses and 83,000 workers by 1976. It was the largest television manufacturer in the world, the 6th largest industrial corporation in Japan, and the 13th largest industrial corporation overall outside of the United States. By 1985, it had sold 100 million televisions, 200 million in 1998, and 300 million in 2008, making it the first television manufacturer to sell 300 million units. Matsushita Electric Industrial Co. Limited officially changed its name to Panasonic Corporation on October 1, 2008. Despite retiring in 1961 and passing away in 1989, Konosuke Matsushita impacts lives on until today. At the end of its 100th year in 2018, Panasonic announced yearly revenue of $72.32 billion and today has over 240,000 employees. The total assets of Panasonic Corporation were around $62 billion as of March 31, 2022. And all of this was made possible by Konosuke Matsushita's tenacity for success and superior leadership abilities. The life narrative of Konosuke Matsushita, from humble beginnings with an electric light bulb invention to becoming a global electronics firm, is incredibly inspiring. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and we ask that you please subscribe to our channel. Bye!